I have this dream, repeatedly. I'm standing in a cave under a waterfall. Sam is with me. We are dressed in animal skins, like cavemen. Last night, I spoke in the dream. I've done this before, but not a lot, or about anything special. No, this was something else. What did you say? I said, Sam, why can I never go beyond the waterfall? Why only you? What did she say? She responded, Dan, it's dangerous out there, and I love you. If we both go out, we both might die. But it's only a silly dream. How do you know that? Because I've been here before and woken up, and now I'm back here again. And to what purpose, if I can't even leave the cave? How do you know that you waking up isn't the dream? Because of my senses, I can't smell here. You're going to have more trust in your senses than you do me? It's not about trust. It's about knowing what's true and false. You are a figment of my subconscious mind. Yes, you are a real person, but here, you're a cave woman, providing for us by being able to go beyond the waterfall. I mean, can't you carry me out or something? I've tried leaving, but my body cannot move into and beyond the waterfall. I am blocked by an invisible force before I can get wet. You want a loophole? Yes. Well, love, there are none. Okay, then I might as well wake up and get out of here. No, don't leave me. She grabs at my arm. Don't you love me? Of course I do. Then why would you ever leave me? Because this is only a dream. Isn't our love more powerful than a dream? Yes. Then why do you want to leave me for the real world, if this isn't actually it? Because it's a dream, I promise. Please, don't leave me all alone here. I can't exist without you. I'm just going to wake up. I have to. Eventually, it won't even be my own option. It'll just happen by itself. You're going to kill me, just to wake up. What's there that isn't here? The real you. This is the real me. What? I wake up, and Martin, that's the dream I keep having, except the other conversations are always about something boring. Last night was the first time I actually addressed her about it being a dream. Man, Dan, I'm interested to see what you guys talk about tonight. This dream series of yours is more interesting than anything on TV. Huh? I'm glad it isn't just me. Hey guys, us girls are going outside to start preparing the rolls and making the salads. Okay, honey, Martin and I will bring out the refreshments. They do so and move outside from the lounge to the garden. Ah, Dan, what's the story with your sister-in-law? I'll tell you now. Honey, we're going over to the garage to get the barbecue stuff. Okay, cool. Thanks for putting our wines in a cooler box of ice. My pleasure, love. Dan and Martin head over to the garage. So, man, Sarah and Sam are getting closer. Sarah's always been a misfit, but now the family have rejected her entirely. Why? What did she do? She's doing porn, and she's actually making some serious bank from it. Sam tells me that she is headed to make more than both of us combined. I mean, Sam and I are working two good white-collar jobs. We own a house in a good neighborhood and are trying out for kids now, exactly because our finances have gotten so comfortable. Wow, that's interesting, man. Yeah, but don't bring it up with her. Just treat her normally. She likes soccer. Speak to her about the Premier League or something, if you want. Otherwise, just leave her to be with the other ladies. What do you think of her? She acts very normal, just a chill person. But like I said, I'm sure she's a bit insecure about it on the inside. I mean, nobody wants to lose a loving family, and she's my sister-in-law, so if Sam supports her, then I will too. Man, that's so bizarre. I always thought people who did that kind of stuff were all like weirdos or something. I don't really know how someone can be so out of the norm and then just want to fit in at a friendly gathering. Yeah, it is weird. I mean, the other day, I heard her talking about wanting to get a boyfriend. Like what? Are you clueless? Who's gonna date you? Definitely nobody worth marrying. But doesn't she see that? Like, isn't that obvious? I don't know, Martin. People can appear normal, but then they tell you something that they strongly believe in, and all of a sudden, they seem like a different person entirely. I don't get it, and I doubt I ever will, so I leave it be. Yeah, it's just one of life's many mysteries. Sarah, how many years younger are you than your sister? 4. Oh, so you were the one that your parents raised, right? You know, how they always say the first one is the learning phase. Sarah and Sam chuckle. But in all seriousness, I hope that when Martin and I have kids, we spoil them from the start and aren't so quick to punish them. They're kids after all. What do they know? They only know feelings in the beginning. But you do have to put in boundaries as well. Of course, I agree with you completely. Really, what I'm trying to say is we should let kids be kids. You can't save your childhood for later in life. Yes, well said. Although, I do want to teach my kids responsibilities early on. By the time they get to be teens and preteens, basically, when they hit double digits, they start thinking for themselves and get to that eye rolling stage. I feel that if you teach them early on, say around 6 or 7, then they're old enough to start doing things and really being conscious of what they're learning. True, true. Sarah, what do you think? I think both of you are like reaching the truth, but you're both coming from different angles. Does that make sense? Yeah, yeah. I catch your drift, sister. They all giggle. Susie, since when did you start speaking so hip? It's these kids I teach, Sam. Their lingo gets all caught up in the back of my head somewhere. Ha, I can't even remember any words from when I was young. Oh, wait, spotty. No, spotter. Oh, yes, they were still using that word when I was in school. What does it mean? It refers to someone who's cheating on their partner, I think. It might be related to like a cheetah, as in the animal that is. So instead of calling someone a cheater, we'd call them a spotter. It's actually pretty lame now that I come to think of it. I'm sure that we had much cooler ones somewhere else, but I can't remember any. It also just might be your memory playing with you. Like, for example, the students in my class think hip is a hip word, but it's so lame. What about you, Sarah? What is the slang like where you work? I work in film, so there's all sorts of professional terms, but nothing you wouldn't have heard before. Oh, cool. What do you do? I'm an actress. Wow. No wonder. I was going to tell Sam when you go to the loo or something that you look like a model. Oh, thank you. You look good too. Oh, don't we all, in our sundresses, on this beautiful spring day? Yes, we do. And thank the good Lord above that it's only spring. I like summer, but I wish it was just for 2 weeks, or something short like that. I can't take these long periods of months where I'm sweating and sweating. Martin must buy thousands of bucks worth of bananas every summer. Why bananas? He says it's good for our electrolytes or something. You know, he's a nutritionist and all, so he knows all that kind of stuff. Oh, interesting. I know my sister and Dan work together, but how did you and Martin meet? You guys are in such different fields. We met in church. It's a good place to meet someone because you know they already have the same values as you. Can I get you ladies any more wine? Sorry to interrupt, ladies. I'm going to the fridge to get some more beers. Can I get you ladies anything? No, it's okay. Thanks, honey. Yeah, I'm fine too. Same. Okay, cool. Dan exits. I guess we best get to work then. Don't want the 2 guys to outwork the 3 of us gals. That's the spirit. But first, please excuse me. I need to go to the restroom. What's the high school slang for restroom? I don't know what they say amongst themselves. They just ask me if they can go to the toilet. Susie exits. I enter the narrow, ice-tiled restroom, which smells of too much artificial cherry. I blow through my nose to try and chase out the smell, but to little avail, as it enters right back in. I sit down and do my business, which is only a short number 1. I put in a dab of toilet paper I used and flush. The water rises and stops only an inch or 2 short of the brim. This is not good, and how did I clog a toilet when I only did a number 1? I wash my hands with yellow soap that smells nothing like any of the fruits that the label claims it's made of in the small, round, ceramic sink. I then rush outside to tell the men of the bad news. Hey, fellows. Hi, Susie. Why aren't you with the other ladies? Listen, the toilet is clogged, but with nothing. I only made it number 1. Oh, geez. I guess that's what we get for buying an old house. No stress, Susie. We'll sort it out. We're almost done barbecuing the meat. The fellows finish barbecuing the meat. Okay, ladies, Martin and I are going to go unclog the toilet. Oh, that's why Susie went straight to you guys. No issue, but in future, my love, just make up a lie. She didn't tell us for a reason. Well, in Susie's defense, she didn't make a number 2. So, how's the toilet clogged? We'll just have to find out. Come on, Martin. Let's go get the special equipment from the garage. They exit. Susie, I think the guys are going to need some more help, but they won't admit it because, well, you know how men's egos can be. Please just go supervise the situation. Sarah and I will bring everything inside. Oh, all right. Susie goes to watch the men do some plumbing. Sarah and Sam take the food inside to the kitchen, where they can prepare to dish it up. Sarah, what do you think is clogging the toilet? I don't know. Could it be all those condoms we flushed down last week when Dan was out of town and we had your actor friends over? That was a whole week ago. How can they still be stuck in there? I know it's happened before. Sometimes things get caught and then slowly, over time, they block other things as well. Oh, well then, maybe. Okay, let's prepare for the worst case scenario. After all, we might be worrying about nothing. It might all be in our own heads. Right. Sam lets out a long, blowing breath. Sarah, you need to take the blame for this. I know it sucks because Mom, Dad, and you are on bad terms over your current career choice. However, I will still love you, and Dan will do as I do. So, is that a plan that works for you? What's the alternative? Honestly, there is no alternative. But even though Dan has been a little low in the sack lately, and him leaving me to go on all these work excursions, pretending like it's to get a better shot at promotion, when actually it's about the fun they all have without the women in the office. Even though that's the case, I still love him very much. And if he were to find out about our little house party while he was away, the marriage will be over. And I can't have that happen. No way. Am I going back to ground zero? I'm way too far in. And I want kids with this man. So, once again, are you cool with the plan? You know, you're my best friend, right? Even more so than Dan? Yes. Okay, I can make it work. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Mom and Dad won't find out. I promise. Dan and I grab a plunger and a flashlight from the garage, respectively. We then head to the bathroom. Martin, I'm going to need you to go outside and open the valve so that, 1, we can see what the heck is clogging the toilet, and 2, we can see if the plunger is actually doing its job. Okay. I go and do so. Hey, honey, are you guys winning? I turn to her from my bent over position with the tunnel illuminating flashlight and say, we are about to find out. Is the valve open and the flashlight on? Yep. What do you see? A ton of toilet paper. Okay, I'm going to plunge now. With every sucking plunge, the fat wad of toilet paper slides down the tube by a fraction of an inch. Is it working? Yes, but slowly. It's going to take a few minutes. Dan continues plunging. Trapped toilet paper water leaks out, like sops of sweat off of an obese man in the summer sun. This goes on for a few more plunges, until the soaking and papery dam wall bursts. Toilet paper and condoms trickle down in a stream, water falling down the pipe, into nightmarish darkness. The water here is descending. I'm assuming the pool on your side is shrinking. Yeah, all good, brother. What was stuck down there? Take a look yourself. Susie takes the flashlight from me and bends down to have a look. Condoms? Yep. Susie gets up and hands me the now switched off flashlight. Dan flushes the toilet and says, meet me in the garage so we can put the tools away. We'll do so. We meet in the garage. I hand over the flashlight and Dan puts it inside his toolbox. He then thoroughly rinses the plunger using the outside tap and then leaves it in the sun to dry. So what was keeping the toilet clogged? Toilet paper and, condoms. Condoms? Yeah, you wild animals been getting at it, hey? We don't use condoms. We've been trying to get pregnant for the last few weeks. And anyways, when we've been using contraceptives, it's always been birth control pills. Oh. Let's go see what's going on with Sarah and Sam. Maybe they have an explanation for this. The two parties meet in the front yard, by the barbecue area and salad making table. So, honey, what was responsible for the clog? Toilet paper. And strange enough, condoms. Condoms? But we don't use those. So how are they there? Who's been here, other than the 5 of us, over the course of however long those synthetic balloons could have been stuck there for? Honey, I have to be honest. Sarah and I went out drinking last weekend. I came home early because I got a little too drunk. I told Sarah she could come and stay back here. When I awoke in the morning, Sarah was here, and the fridge looked like it had been raided by bears. I didn't want to say anything because I know Sarah is a lonely lady. She doesn't have a hubby to come to, so I thought, hell, if she secretly had a guy come home with her and leave early in the morning, then what's the big deal, right? Okay, I just wish you guys had told me. I'm sorry, Dan, I really am. I just got hit on by this handsome man, and I couldn't help myself. Well, the toilet's unclogged, and we now know not to throw condoms. Condoms. Condoms! Martin, how many did you see in there? I don't know, maybe 5 or 6, quite a few, but not too many. In one night? Sarah, have you been somehow secretly sneaking your lover in during the last week that you've been staying with us? I mean, I know you do it for a living, but what gives? Is your drive so high that you can't just do it, like once or twice at a time, like some normal person? What do you mean normal person? Yes, honey. And what do you mean she does it for a living? Sarah's an actress. Oh, come on. She clogged our toilet with a handful of condoms. Martin and Susie aren't dumb. They can read between the lines, can't they? I'm just assuming that it's obvious. Hey, Dan, now answer my question. What do you mean, like some normal person? Maybe by normal, I mean people contribute something valuable to society for a living. What I do is valuable. Yeah, to you, and you alone. I mean things that bring value to society as a whole. Fuck you, Dan. You sound just like my dad. Well, are you listening to me? Because you didn't listen to him, and that got you here. Where do you think you're going to go after us? We too will run out of patience. And I promise you, We won't wait 24 years to kick you out. Dan, how could you say that? She's our sister. Look, love, I know that, and I know the toilet getting clogged isn't the end of the world, but I'm not exactly chuffed about having our guests having to work as my assistant plumbers. Okay, honey, I hear you. Although, you know what, Dan? I'm not some bozo. I dress smartly around you to try and show that I'm a fucking person too. You massive fucking prick. Is that a compliment? Because I thought you liked those. Dan, don't speak to my sister that way. Then you deal with her. Marty, Susie, and I fix the toilet. Now you can fix your sister. Dan, please, let's just. I'm not the only one who likes massive pricks, Dan. My sister does too. I know that may come as a surprise to you, because maybe if yours was bigger, you'd have gotten her pregnant by now. The guys from set would certainly have. If it wasn't for those toilet cloggers. And by the way, Martin, there were 8 condoms, and only half of those were mine. Yes, that's right, Dan. Your sister has the sex drive of a porn star. What does that make her? Are you going to kick her out too? Because last time I checked, you were a single child with dead parents. Sam is the only person who loves me and you. We have that in common, big brother. Or should I say small brother? Everybody's quiet as shadows stretch and stances stiffen still. The sky's blue hue becomes an orange blush due to the disappearing sun. We are all standing upright, with our shocked mouths mimicking stretched out vaginal holes, our minds not knowing what to do, as the day and future begin to get dark.